So I did this large painting, kind of a lot of my paisley shapes, and but as I was painting it, I kind of knew I didn't want a child in the situation that I was in. You know, it's like things got to change before I'm ready to make that type of decision. Um, and so for me, I was almost painting. I knew I was painting it with the intention. I always kind of, when I paint, think about something. So putting out the intention for them to have another child, like I called it fruitful yield, and for them to have fruitful yield, a healthy child. Um, and and not long after I finally finished, finally finished it, she got pregnant and had their first, their only daughter. Um, and anyway, she she looked a lot like me when she was small. I haven't seen her in a long time. She's a sweet little thing. And I think it's kind of good that I'm not around the girls, because if they end up like me, then I can't be blamed for influence. You know, that's who I worry about. Like, who, if they end up turning out like me, who are they gonna turn to? So I won't shun you. um, and so while God had me there, we were talking about kind of, um, when I was married, I saw how we lived in Texas for a little while near my brother and his wife and all their friends, and you kind of saw what that life was like, normal America living, moving in different places and just hearing stories from all the people about the way life really is, and seeing how people really behave. Um, and after all I had seen doing my 12 years of office work, and it, like when I got divorced, I just felt like I kind of had a new life. Like it was almost like I escaped. I just had a new chance. Um, and so, and then coming into the dating world and seeing what's going on, and the reason I kind of do the cam work I do, um, uh, is so that my nieces and little cousins don't end up in, I have to try to make a change or a difference, at least a little bit, put that energy out there, in hopes that they don't end up in the same place that I am. My life was good at this point when God came to me, but um, I'd kind of given up on. It was just more about what can I do for the kids and how can I make this, the rest of this life, just enjoyable, because uh, when it comes to romance and love, I'm not expecting much. Seeing what's going on, and I know what I am. Um, so God had given me the choice of. He told me that I had given up having children. Wondered during my life. I'd never taken birth control. I had ovarian cysts when I was in 8th grade, and I took it for a couple months to shrink them. But it just freaked me out, taking something that would keep something from growing um, inside of you. Um, and so, I never had an issue with it. I had very strange periods when I would be stressed or sick, um, and but anyways, it was just, I think some girls wonder, like, am I able to have kids? But anyway, so God mentioned that I'd given up having children for Maddie to be born, my niece. That that energy had just gone. Um, that's what I chose at the time. That it was available to me, but I passed it on for her to. come into being. Not that she's like my, it's complicated, and this things like this is what my family is like. Too much. And so, but it was more, I mean, I'm not going to bring a kid into this world until I know that it's something I can handle. So it's something that I want to give them. I don't want to bring them out here. Okay, now you're stuck here. Now you gotta do this. This is the way it has to be. And to have nieces, or I've always had younger kids around me, so I've just always been motherly, and take that into consideration. So I really wanted, I hope better for the younger generation. If I can't have it great, then let me do what I can to make it better for the next ones. And so God asked me to choose between. I'm leaving out a part here because there's some stuff that's just, even this is hard to put out there. He asked me to choose between true love and expressing myself in order to help these girls not to have to face the same difficulty I did in order to have a good life. That me choosing to express myself was, that's what I chose, was necessary in order for them to be able to bypass that, for me not to pass it on, in a sense. So, and then he told me that was I willing to die in order for them to have a better life. And I thought, yeah, I'm gonna die anyway. If my life's gonna suck and their life's gonna suck, yeah, sure. If it helps there, they got a long way to go. So he put me down in child's pose, and I just figured he was gonna electrocute me again or something. And nothing happened. And he had me sit up, and it was just testing me. And he said that I had chosen correctly, and that I would get everything. That I would have love, and that I would have children. And I'm not so much worried about, there's so much so much more to worry about right now, but not really worry, but whatever. But anyway, I said I would get everything that I'd chosen, and that so yeah, so then the Amy thing happened. I get that done. So also to talk about the telepathy thing. There's there's a way of speaking with people, reading things, and you notice in our society a lot of people have become more adapted to texting over speaking on the phone, or and what that changes is you don't hear the inflection of voice. It's hard to convey humor or certain emotions over text. But what it causes us to do is to have to isolate those muscles and begin to use them. And this is part of a telepathic transmission in a sense. So certain things that we feel like are issues within ourselves are really just steps in the process. Everything is set up to help us get to a certain place, and that's kind of when you can look at it and be like, well, I how ironic. What a crazy Lord he is. So, more expression. So getting back to God. After the Amy thing, we talked about the iPod changing songs and the lover situation. Go through. So then he takes me over, moves my body over to kind of my closet area, and different songs. So we've got the songs going, right? So different songs are coming on, and then he chooses I had the Stevie Wonder album on my iTunes, and he puts it on to where it's just playing Stevie Wonder album, track by track. It's kind of a memorable album. And different songs are coming on, and we're going over, and I feel God just holding me, and we're just kind of like, I'm just kind of in this energy, and it is when I'm feeling like just this overpowering love, and him telling me that he wants me to understand, this, he's like, this is only a little bit of how I feel, and in order to prepare you all for what is to be, I mean, it really is overwhelming, so to adjust to that level of power, I can see why we can't just shock our bodies into this. And it's just like you don't want to do anything else. Like, that's just, if I were embraced in it, I could just stay there forever. And so these songs are coming on, and he's just like, I inspire music, and music comes from me. A lot of these songs I've been creating over time to speak to each one of you, and everything's created for you, and really listen to these songs and know that I'm speaking to you. So when you hear these love songs and these words, when you think God feels these things for me, it's really powerful. It's kind of what I call self-love therapy. To really, I mean, even if you don't believe in God, I mean, just try the mind exercise of what would that feel like, I mean, the Imagine game. It's interesting. What are you afraid of, and then we would dance to songs, and different memories would come up, and God would help me see different situations that maybe I saw as bad or scary, or I didn't understand as a child. We would kind of go back into that energy field, and I could put myself in the place of the person I was facing, how they were coming at me, what were they feeling, what were the memories within their mind that created this this that would have caused them to react in this way in this situation. Like, as a child, you think it's about you, so you react to that, and that's not reality. So kind of being able to see things from a different point of view, through adult eyes,